Do you remember the cartoons and animated shows you watched as a kid? Those sweet, fun stories that seemed harmless and entertaining. But the truth is, some of them were inspired by real events, and some of those real stories are far darker and scarier than what appeared on screen. Are you ready to discover the hidden side of your childhood memories and see that these happy worlds and heroes weren't always what they seemed? Let's start with Coraline first. Some people claim Coraline is based on a true and very dark story from Norway. It starts with Coraline's father passing away. Her mother, already struggling with mental health problems, begins to spiral. She becomes abusive toward Coraline, and after money troubles, they move to a new house. There, Coraline finds a small door hidden behind the wallpaper. But when she opens it, it's just bricked up. Her mother, in a fit of rage, beats Coraline until she loses consciousness. Hours later, realizing what she's done, her mother breaks down crying. To prove Coraline is still alive, she sews black buttons over her eyes and calls for help. Days later, neighbors report a terrible smell. Police arrive to discover Coraline's body, and her mother is sent to a mental hospital. But the story doesn't end there. Author Neil Gaiman once said the idea for Coraline came from a chilling rumor in his hometown. According to the legend, an old woman raised her granddaughter after the child's parents died. Strangely, no one in the neighborhood had ever seen the girl. One day, curious kids snuck into the woman's house, and what they found was horrifying. The burned body of a child, with buttons sewn where her eyes should have been. In the original Aladdin story, the genie actually didn't like Aladdin, and for good reason. In Disney's version, Aladdin only gets 3 wishes and uses the last one to free Genie. But in the 1001 Arabian Nights tale, Aladdin can wish for anything, as many times as he wants. That's when things go wrong. Toward the end, an enemy tricks Aladdin into asking the genie for a giant egg to decorate his palace. The genie gets furious. He yells at Aladdin for being greedy and explains the egg belongs to a legendary bird called the Roc, a creature even stronger than genies. Annoyed, the genie refuses to help anymore and leaves Aladdin to face his problems alone. And here's the part Disney never showed. The original Aladdin wasn't a charming hero. He was selfish and creepy. He spies on the princess while she bathes, then later uses the genie's power to get rid of her fiancé and force himself into her bed. Traumatized, the princess can't even talk about it until her father demands answers. Yet somehow, despite everything, she ends up marrying Aladdin. We all know Scooby Doo as a fun story about teenage friends solving mysteries, but the real story is much darker. It starts when Shaggy finds Scooby Doo at his doorstep and brings him home. When Velma sees Scooby, she suddenly remembers another dimension, a past life where Scooby isn't just a dog. In that world, Scooby has killed them all before, over and over, each time creating a new version of reality. Once Velma realizes the truth, Scooby kills her, Shaggy, and all their friends again, starting the cycle over in a brand new world.
I love you. You know that, right? I love all of you. But I don't understand why you keep remembering. We'd go solving mysteries together. It was simple, fun. But you started overcomplicating things.
You know, I never really thought of it before, but why can Scooby talk?
Now that you mention it, it is a bit odd.
Yeah, like, what's up with that, man?
Jeepers, Velma, you might be onto something.
And suddenly, the fun was over. So I took what remained, and I rebuilt you. I rebuilt the world. and we were back to our classic adventures. But you started to remember. Again, and again, and again. I just want what we once had. Yet each time I capture less of your essence. This being my most flawed world yet.
Flawed? But we're meta now!
Ugh. Never the matter. I'll get it right. Next time. Please don't run. I don't like to chase.
The story of Ben 10 is very different from the cartoon we grew up with. In the original version, Azimuth, the creator of the Omnitrix, actually designed it to destroy humans. When Vilgax learns this, he attacks Azimuth's lab and kills him. After Azimuth's death, the Omnitrix activates on its own, crashes to Earth, and attaches itself to Ben. But instead of letting him turn into different aliens like in the show, the Omnitrix fuses with his body. Gwen finds Ben in this state, and when Charmcaster notices the Omnitrix, she senses danger and transforms into some of its creatures to fight Gwen. Things take a dark turn when Ben violently attacks and kills his own grandfather. From there, he begins slaughtering humans and wiping out Earth in the most brutal way. Eventually, Ben himself becomes one of the Omnitrix's creatures and goes on to destroy other worlds. To stop him, different versions of Ben from across the multiverse join forces, but he kills them all. In the end, the Omnitrix starts to weaken. That's when Ben 10,000 takes his chance and cuts off Ben's left hand, finally stopping him. Afterward, the alien species work together to rebuild the universe. With the help of Professor Paradox, Ben travels back to the moment the Omnitrix first landed on Earth and prevents himself from unleashing the deadly Carnitrix. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, 1937, was Disney's first princess movie and a massive success. We all know the story. Snow White's jealous stepmother, the evil queen, orders a huntsman to kill her. But he can't do it and lets her escape into the forest, where she lives with the seven dwarfs. Later, the queen disguises herself as an old woman and tricks Snow White into eating a poisoned apple. Believed to be dead, Snow White lies in a glass coffin until a prince finds her and brings her back with a kiss. They live happily ever after. But the original Brothers Grimm story from 1812 is much darker. In their version, the prince doesn't wake Snow White with a kiss. Instead, when he's carrying her coffin, he stumbles, and the apple piece stuck in her throat falls out, bringing her back to life. The ending is even more disturbing. At Snow White's wedding, the evil queen is forced to wear red-hot iron shoes and dance until she dies. Pretty grim for a children's tale, and it's clear why Disney left that part out. Did you know Shrek isn't as original as it seems? The movie's fairy tale world feels unique, but the story actually comes from a 1990 children's book called Shrek. In the book, a green, ugly ogre goes on a journey with a donkey to rescue a princess, who, like Fiona in the movie, isn't conventionally beautiful. But here's the surprising part. There was also a real-life Shrek. His name was Maurice Tillet, a French wrestler who became famous in the 1940s. As a teenager, he developed a rare condition called acromegaly, which made his hands, feet, and head grow unusually large. This gave him a striking appearance that earned him the nickname, the French Angel. Tillet went on to win the World Heavyweight Championship in Montreal in 1942. Sadly, his health worsened because of his condition, and he passed away in 1954, just a year after his final match. Some believe Maurice Tillet inspired the look of Shrek, though DreamWorks has never officially confirmed it. So next time you watch your favorite childhood cartoons, remember that some of these stories are based on dark, terrifying realities. Even characters you thought were created just for fun might hide secrets you never imagined. Can you still look at them with the same innocent eyes, or will you see something different now? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think about these hidden stories.